Thanks for joining us today. My name is Craig Janofski, and I am the Director of Strategic Initiatives with Extolo. Coming to you today out of Michigan. Actually, I have Keith Cobell joining us. He is the president of Extolo, joining in on this call from California. So hello, Keith. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's good to be on this call and share what we're doing in Haiti.
Yeah, so any of our followers and our partners in our work in Haiti, if they've been following along, they've been hearing some language that we've been using, probably the better part of, I'm guessing, 6 months or so. We've been using a language called Tilt Up and talking about an initiative called Tilt Up Construction. And my fear is for others like me who don't necessarily come from the construction industry, that there's some confusion about exactly what Tilt Up is. So I'm wondering, Keith, if you'd help us understand, what is Tilt Up?
So I guess to be as simple and hopefully as clear as possible, that tilt-up construction is essentially pouring slabs of concrete on the ground and then tilting them up. So it's almost like the old school barn raising that you see, where you have someone puts down a foundation and then a group comes in and just starts building walls on that floor, and then they tilt up the walls. That's essentially what tilt-up construction is. So it's being able to do the main construction there on the ground. And then once the concrete cures, it's able to get tilted up and constructed that way.
Yeah, so is this a new technology in construction, or is this a construction technique that's currently being used in Haiti?
Well, it's not a new construction technique. It is innovative in Haiti because, to our knowledge, no one else is doing it. I remember hearing at some point that someone had tried it a number of years ago, but it didn't work for them for whatever reason. But tilt-up construction is a pretty old technology. I don't know the history of it per se, but it's widespread use throughout the developed world or the developed economies. You see a lot of it because it has a lot of cost efficiency to it. You can actually construct a building in a third of the time as opposed to other types of construction. But for Haiti, what's most interesting is here you have a really, I think, a very fascinating intersection between the skill set that Extolo has, specifically in its founder and general contractor, Sherm Balch. And one of the greatest needs for Haiti is in the construction space, particularly with housing. And so Sherm is an internationally recognized expert in tilt-up construction technology. He actually helped develop a lot of the innovations in tilt-up. And so as we started to think about where is Extolo going to go next as an organization and as a company in Haiti, it was going to be in the construction space because, of course, we train people in the construction trades. And so this is where it sort of light bulb went on for us, is that, well, why don't we take one of the top experts in this construction technology and be the first mover of it in Haiti, because it has, again, a number of benefits to it that could be a real benefit to Haiti and to the people there.
Yeah. So traditionally, when people are constructing in Haiti, there's a lot of brick and mortar. That's a common technique right now. Certainly, to do tilt up and to do it well, you've already mentioned a couple benefits about potentially saving money. To do it right is going to be a fairly significant investment. So why make the change? Why bring this technology to Haiti? What are going to be the benefits of it?
Well, there's a few different benefits. One is that tilt-up construction, concrete specifically, is using inputs that are readily available in Haiti. There's not a whole lot that you have to do that is different. It's the technique that is quite different. So there's a lot of construction in Haiti that uses concrete, uses block construction with mortar and cement and so forth. But oftentimes what you'll find is that the construction doesn't use the highest quality materials. It doesn't use the highest quality craftsmanship, and it doesn't use the kind of structural supports in it, such as rebar and so forth. And so you get a building that looks good on the outside, but on the inside is quite fragile. And the world saw that in 2010 in Haiti. And so what Tilt Up is doing is it is basically locking in excellence and resilience into the wall before it's even tilted up. So the tilt up construction is essentially taking panels that you're able to do a lot of things to while it's on the ground, and then you're erecting it. And the ability for that wall to withstand natural disasters is significantly higher than if you were building it out of blocks. And certainly in the case of Haiti, understandably, people are wanting to save money, so they don't fill those block walls, with enough rebar or enough concrete inside the brick, inside the blocks. So that's one significant benefit to it. And I think, secondly, this is a new construction technology for Haiti that we hope does take off. And we don't see ourselves as being in the business of creating a massive construction company, tilt-up construction company in Haiti, but we want to share our experience and our knowledge and our expertise in this area so that other construction companies can adopt it as well. And so what that will do is those of our students who are learning about this technique now, we hope it is going to be a particular construction knowledge and skill set that's going to be in much more demand down the road once we've proven the concept of this tilt-up construction. We'll get to this later, I'm sure, but what we're doing is we're going to be creating a house, a small house, somewhere around 800 to 900 square feet, that is going to be used, it's going to be built using this tilt-up construction technology. And it's going to be at a price point that we think is going to be affordable for majority of the kind of middle class in Haiti. Hopefully it'll be adopted by others. We're hoping for partnerships with NGOs and the government of Haiti and others that see the benefit of being able to produce a house that's very scalable, but also very resilient.
Good, good. So I think that's helpful. I think we've got a little bit better understanding about exactly what tilt up is. It sounds like it's going to be a more cost-effective solution that provides structural integrity. I would imagine the speed of constructing those walls, whether it be for a security wall, a security fencing, or walls for a house, could be done faster. And so there could be some economic impacts for job markets. So let's just talk a little bit more about the nuts and bolts, like why Extolo and how does Extolo plan to actually accomplish this?
So I mentioned the why Extolo a little bit. It really just centers on Sherm Balch as the intellectual asset for this. He's probably the biggest resource that we have when it comes to how to do tilt up in varying degrees of difficulty. It's also because we've been really focusing on developing our campus. We have a 5-acre campus in Bercy, which is just essentially northwest of Cabaret, or 45 minutes north of Port-au-Prince. And we've essentially finished with phase 1 of our build out of that site. And we're looking to do 2 more phases. And in the second phase is a real build out of our infrastructure for tilt up. We have a metal fabrication facility we're developing right now as we speak, as well as an auto care facility. So when it comes to the ability we have, it is a lot of investment. And so we have been putting a fair bit of investment in the infrastructure for these tilt-up operations. I mean, this includes casting slabs, which basically is a big platform, as it were, of concrete on the ground that you pour these walls onto. There's equipment like cranes, cement mixers, conveyor belts that lead from a pile of rock into a hopper to kind of mix the aggregates that go into the mixer. So this is where Schirmbalch has been having his most fun, is because he gets to build something from the ground up that we're all pretty confident in that is going to have an outsized impact in Haiti.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. There's some exciting days ahead. And so thank you to everybody who tuned into this video. We hope it helped explain Tilt Up a little bit more. And if you want to learn more information about Extollo and how you can get involved, please visit extollo.org. That's EXTOLLO.org. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.